While we have a moment, I'm actually going to read an article that was put out today. All right. Today marks the 2-year anniversary of January 6th. Over 100 political prisoners of the Biden regime still languish in prison 2 years later. Most of them pre-trial detainees being held unconstitutionally. But when there is darkness, a hero is bound to eventually emerge, and sometimes in the most expected form. In this case, that hero is tiny Micki Witthoeft, the mother of slain warrior Ashley Babbitt. Micki moved to Washington, D.C. from her home in San Diego, California, to become a voice for the voiceless, the January 6th political prisoners languishing inside the walls of the D.C. Gitmo. Micki has become a full-time advocate for the prisoners of the Biden regime, working around the clock to fight for their release, hosting a nightly vigil for the past 160 days and counting. Micki has brought hope to these poor men in despair, said Kara Castronova of Citizens Against Political Persecution. She has shown unconditional love to the most hated and forgotten group in America, and literally brought light to these men at the darkest, most terrifying times of their lives. What a legacy for the rest of us to aspire to live by. Micki Witthoeft is hands down one of the most insanely gorgeous people I have ever had the honor of calling a friend. Her heart is pure gold. End quote. Since showing up in D.C. on August 1st, Micki has shown incredible strength in her rise as an unlikely civil rights leader, directing the horrific pain she endures due to her daughter Ashley Babbitt's public execution to supercharge her to fight the good fight. She fights for a group of men that were part of that historic day. Her daughter's life was taken by the Capitol Police officer, Michael Byrd. Sadly, Micki lost her only daughter, but has become the spontaneous mother of a movement. Quote, "This makes me feel closer to Ashley," says Micki. "If she were still alive, I know my daughter would be here on the steps of the jail, protesting until every one of the prisoners were released. I feel her here with me," end quote. Her name is Micki Witthoeft, but the detainees in the D.C. gulag call her Mama Micki. Make no mistake, she is the face of the Jan 6 movement for truth. That's a quote from J6 political prisoner Peter Steger. For 5 months, Micki has been in the trenches advocating for the constitutional and civil rights of the condemned Jan 6ers, who have been denied adequate access to counsel, family visitation, and even basic medical care, barred from seeing their own discovery, unlawfully detained for nearly 2 years, and publicly convicted before trial in a hostile district. Quote, "Meanwhile, the treatment is horrendous. We are witnessing blatant violations of the Geneva Convention protocols against cruel and inhumane treatment," said Randy Ireland of Americans for Justice, who has been by Micki's side every day, sometimes working 20 hours a day. "We're doing this to educate America that these constitutional, human, and civil rights abuses are going on." Another quote from another political prisoner. "During my trial, I had 2 mothers present and watching from the gallery. Weeks later, when the verdict came and I feared that no one I knew would be there to support, I saw that you did not leave me alone." Political prisoner Kyle Fitzsimon in a letter of gratitude to Micki as he languishes in prison. Despite all her grief, Micki is at the D.C. courthouse almost every day attending trials and sentencing hearings. Sometimes the only warm face to console the prisoner on trial in a frigid courtroom packed with deep state demons like D.C. prosecutors, biased judges, and fake news media. Micki has held press conferences in front of the Capitol, organized rallies, tirelessly spoken with media. She has picked men up from release and dropped men off for surrender. And each night, for 160 consecutive nights, she has held a popular vigil outside the D.C. jail that gives a platform to the men there and those in 16 jails across the country who for so long have been silenced and ignored. They say if you build it, they will come, said Casanova. And unique and wonderful people come from all over the nation to stand with Micki in solidarity, similar to the way the group of runners organically started following Forrest Gump. It has been amazing to watch. I don't know about that kid. Come on. Micki is there every night for the detained men to call her phone and speak to the world via the speaker system set up by her group. This includes holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas. She never stops working, Ireland said about the grit it takes to keep going. There's just this exhaustion factor. Every day at the courthouse, every night at the vigil till midnight. In the rain, 12 degrees outside with a wind chill of 20 below. But Micki is determined. She's there to give a voice to the voiceless. And that's what we've been doing for 5 months. End quote. It has been the opposite of easy. Micki has been verbally attacked with obscenities by low-life far leftist and Antifa lunatic goons like those here today. Physically assaulted by a heavy-handed correctional officer and endured the desecration of her daughter's memorial and legacy by the same morons. Micki believes that if Ashley were still with us, this is exactly where she would be. Fighting for justice for the J6 political hostages. That is the very essence of the For Ashley movement. And until justice is served, that's exactly where she's going to be. A mother's work. Successes have been slow going and hard won, but their work has affected real change. We launched a huge calling campaign to the marshal's office that basically broke their phone lines, said Ireland about one event. It resulted in Lieutenant Lancaster being suspended, pending an investigation. This is another letter from one of the J6 political hostages. People have written me and said that we are changing the country and that they've been compelled to get involved in this grassroots movement since getting to know us all through the nightly vigil. Mama Micki is not only the matriarch for the J6 family and activist worth their soul, but she has become the very nucleus of the J6 America First movement, said political prisoner Sean McHugh in a letter from his cell in appreciation of Micki. Through a motley crew group of dedicated live streamers sharing their craft, thousands of people can listen to the vigil firsthand testimony of the abuses happening inside the prison system and hear daily briefings from the intentionally obfuscated federal courts where the judges are as politically charged as the juries. Real-time emergency alerts have rallied hundreds of phone calls, moved pre-trial prisoners out of perilous conditions, and gotten the attention of the real president, who called him to the rally in support of Micki and the prisoners. We plan on being here and standing in solidarity until it's over, Micki said on what would have been Ashley's 37th birthday. Her constant presence has given the indefinitely detained men of January 6th the strength to keep fighting. You are the mother of an amazing veteran and hero, Ashley Babbitt, and you are the mother of the J6ers. Nobody else has done what you have done. Your heart is in it for the right reasons. This was said by Billy Preston, a political prisoner, in a letter to Micki. 10 men of the D.C. Gulag wrote letters to Mama Micki and the American people expressing their incalculable gratitude to her on the 2-year anniversary of January 6th. You can read that letter on the Gateway Pundit.
If you don't have a conscience, you betray God.
One letter from a political prisoner in the United States Marine, James McClure, is as follows. An angel and a mother. Who is Michelle Witthoeft? To me, she is Mama Micki. And it's her unconditional love for others that inspires in me a daily renewed spirit of selfless love and courage. It's in her that I find during my struggles that fire to carry on during my worst days. Micki has been a spiritual light of hope and unity amongst the guys here in the D.C. jail. She has truly been my beacon of truth and freedom. I want to share a quick story with you about the direct impact a single person can have on another person's life. When they so selflessly give themselves to the servitude of others. I was struggling the other day more than usual. My mind was wrestling and tormented with many things. Incarceration during the holidays, lawyers, sentencing approaching, my family, my children, a life lost. How many more years will I be away from my family? I was beating myself up pretty bad. It was very near tears. It's not that I don't want to cry, only that I'm unsure at this point if I'm capable of crying or if I have even any tears left. I remember walking out of my cell into the phone. I was going to make a phone call, but all the phones were busy. So I was standing there, and I'm sure I looked lost as the room was starting to disappear as I drifted further and further into my own thoughts. I heard my name being called by one of the other guys I'm detained with. It caught me by surprise, because it wasn't my turn for the phone yet. His arm was outstretched as he was passing the phone in my direction. He was saying, "Some people want to talk to you." When I placed the phone to my ear, there was a crowd of people yelling my name, saying, "James, we love you." And at that moment, tears rolled down my face. I hid my face so no one else could see, and someone on the other end of the phone started asking me how I was doing, and I said, "I'm okay. I think I'm good." Because in that exact moment, it was simple. A group of strangers telling me they love me and they care about me made the worry and pain drift away as fast as it entered. It's the power and strength. It's the power and strength of God's love that will for all our lives. This phone call was outside to the nightly vigil and has been outside the jail for the past 4 months. The D.C. jail vigil is the creation of a few patriotic Americans, but would not be outside the D.C. jail if it was not for Mama Micki. It's been her tireless effort and steadfast commitment to truth and justice that has attracted so many J6 defendants, to include myself, a voice and hope in the midst of our trials and tribulation. Mama Micki lost her beautiful daughter on January 6th, Ashley Babbitt. Ashley is my angel, and I know she's guarding heaven's gates. She continues to watch over all of us. I have no doubt in this. No words could express the depths of my heart, void from never being able to meet such a beautiful person. It's every day I am able to witness her beautiful spirit through her mother's eyes. I am forever indebted for her, Ashley's love. service and sacrifice to our country. I am encouraged out of prayer and love to want to give a piece of myself to someone who has truly given their all to me and so many more. I have asked others to share with you their experiences in love for an angel we know as the mother of the J6 movement, Mama Micki. Always with love, James McGurry, prisoner number 377892.
No. There is a meaning to the story. It was all about resisting tyranny. That's all it was. A tactic to resist tyranny. Hey, look, one of the people.
I apologize, it's a little emotional.
Of our power. The power we
It's why we do this.
about truth telling. We
You know,
coordinate resistance.
despite everything that has been done, the work has only just begun. To support this movement, visit www.4ashley.com to recognize January 6th as Patriots Day for those who fought, suffered, and died for freedom against a corrupt, tyrannical government. Sign here. So there's a petition that's being launched to designate January 6th as Patriots Day. To witness the letters written by James McGrew, Kyle Fitzsimon, Sean McHugh, Jonathan Mellis, Billy Cressman, Bobby Deichwin, Anonymous, Bart Shively, David Dempsey, and Peter Stager, go to this article on the Gateway Pundit. We're going to close this out. Remember those who are in prison, as though in prison with them. Hebrews 13:3.
If you get off the goddamn cool insanity, the goddamn motherfucking
So I just
cool
want to
insanity,
say,
if you get off that
thank you to
goddamn
Kelly,
cool,
Kara,
I can coordinate. We
and
can
those involved in
actually
writing this article
save
and
America.
recognizing what Micki's done. I want to say, I came here with Micki on August 1st. And it's been my privilege to be beside her at that DC jail. And I'd like to put a call out all across this country. We need more people to come out and stand up. Stand with us. We're not asking you to come and stay. Gary McBride. Oh, shit. People need to come and stand outside that jail. They need to come and attend the courthouse and sit in the courtrooms. Justice must be done. And what we're seeing and witnessing is not justice. That's why we're out here. Every American citizen under the Constitution has a constitutional right to bail, to a speedy trial, to participate in their defense, to confront their accusers, to be free from cruel and unusual punishment. These guys deal with cruel and unusual punishment every day. Pre-trial, they're not even convicted of anything. It has gone so bad at the DC jail that over 38 inmates signed a letter asking the federal government to transfer them to Guantanamo Bay. Do you know why? Because under the hands of our military, they would get far better treatment than here in the Washington, D.C. jail. That's a disgrace. That ought not to happen on American soil. One of the biggest reasons we are here today is because on the docket of this Supreme Court sits a case that can begin to change it all. And so I wanted to read that letter, just to explain a little bit of the motivation of why we called people out here to be here today. And so at this point in time, what I'd like to do is to give a moment of silence and prayer directed to the justices inside this court. This is the Supreme Court of the United States of America. This is the supreme law of the land. They have the power today in taking up a case that can restore our republic, restore our Constitution, restore justice. And that's why we're here. Thank you.
Yeah.